I could have if I just build a little bit faster. That's why I'm just gonna keep telling myself. But for real, if you want to get out of the friend zone, like, it took me a good while. Like, it was something I had to relearn, like in the sense of like I played Tetris a certain way without, without T-spinning, like because I played older versions of Tetris when I was younger. So there was definitely an adjustment period, but I eventually got to it. I would say like it took me like a few weeks. It wasn't that long. Wait, Garbo-can, you're the legend. I didn't even recognize it was you. Garbo-can. I've watched some of your... I was like trying to like go like, huh, like I recognize you from somewhere. And I was like, holy crap, like I watched your YouTube videos. I was like, huh, like who is this guy? Like your name sounded familiar. So, yeah. I was like, huh, like, but now it all makes sense. I've watched your videos on YouTube. You're a good player. Much better than I am. But I think what it really comes down to is that if there is someone that you know you like, it's better to kind of initiate steps to initiate early, because I think there is some truth to be said about like people being comfortable with dating somebody they know, but like if you let that linger too long, then you're establishing that you guys are friends. So I would say this is like the large mistake a lot of guys do if they're interested in someone. Like they kind of wait too long and then they fantasize about the possibilities of going out, and for whatever reason they kind of quote unquote wait for like the perfect time to ask. But realistically speaking, like depending on like how you view things, like there's never gonna be 100% perfect time to ask someone out. It's always gonna be weird. There's always gonna be some reason why it doesn't make sense, or like why it's awkward. It's like, oh, like we're in the same class together, so I don't want to do this. We're on a group project. Like there's always gonna be something that, like if you really think about it, like it is like a legitimate excuse for not asking the person out. So like, I mean, granted there is something to be said about timing, but like I don't really know how else to say this other than the fact that like sometimes you're just never going to find the perfect time to ask a person out, and once you realize that, you just kind of just do it, and the person says no, then you just kind of move on from there. That's like I think that's like the best way to go at it. Alright, Philip, have a good night, man. Of course, like, I'm talking about like a random weird example. I'm trying to think of an example. The main overarching point here is not so much that I used the group project example, it's just that you can always find a reason why it's not the perfect time. So that's like and I think it's okay to like accept that, like if a person says they just see you as a friend, then just take it as like a rejection and just kind of move on. I would say don't force a person's hand too much, or like if they say no, like I don't see you that way, then you just take the L and then you find someone else. That's the way I kind of think about it. Sir Osh, thank you. Yeah, waiting too long becomes a problem. And I, like, clearly, like, with my story, like, or my story with my wife, like, we were friends for a really long time, but I did ask her out, for what it's worth, like, pretty early, even though she rejected me. So she knew that, like, to a certain extent, like, I was romantically interested. And we did make friends, and I didn't push it, and somehow miraculously we ended up getting married. But I was very intentional, like, to like get it to a place where I could ask her out, rather than like kind of wait and hope that something happens that catalyzes it. It does blow to get rejected, though. I totally get it. What's up? Oh no, you're fine. Wait, can you hear this whole conversation? I love you, honey. Even though you rejected me once, I don't hold anything against you. My wife was like listening. I thought she was already to bed. Wait, no, I shouldn't have swapped that. No. I'm gonna just do an extra line just for Tetris. I think like the self-dignity part kind of helped. Like, do I really want a person that doesn't like me, right? And like, if I have to force like someone to like me, like, is that kind of like the relationship I want? So like, I'm okay with like someone being upfront and rejecting me, then like kind of like going like because you look from a woman's perspective, right? Sometimes they say yes because they don't want the guy to feel bad. But like they never really had feelings for the guy, but they're just being with the guy to be nice. Like I would never want that to happen to me. Like, and unfortunately, I'm never gonna be in that predicament. But I'd rather have a person just be honest with me, like saying like, hey, like I'm not that into you, than like go through like a long trial period where like you're trying to force something to work that just isn't there. So, although rejection sucks, like I think it's better to know sooner than later than to have something that just the magic and the spark isn't there. You've been watching all my clips. I'm glad you're here, man. And I'm glad this is your first time. Well, I wish you knew about me sooner, Kappa. Oh god. I'm not doing myself any favors here. So I'm doing these weird carves because it's like I'm trying to live. So if you're wondering like why I'm doing single line clears and stuff, like I just want to live. You can quote me on that. What is with these carve downs? Feels like I've been only playing defense here. Please be in a good spot. Alright. Good RNG. Alright. We've finally gotten to a point where like my board's relatively stable. Alright.
That was really bad for me. Now I have to deal with a rude break. Am I playing too conservatively here? I wonder. Do I live stream this? No, not really. Oh, that was rough. I did not mean to do that. Why am I making this so hard? I've like made so many build errors. Okay. We recovered, I guess. Wait, I'm at 50%. I didn't even know I was at 50. No wonder why that was so hard.